Okay, we are here in Shinjuku. It is OTB AM coming to you live this Monday morning. It is unfortunately the very end of the road here in Japan, the end of the road here in Tokyo. Disappointed. It's a good city.
Did you think you were going to get another couple of weeks here? Like, was there a point during the week where you were planning what you were going to do, the onsens, and maybe finally you get to an onsen, you might take your cax off, fully experience life here?
Perhaps, yeah. I definitely started to believe a little bit. I think it kind of happens in every big sporting event if it's before an All-Ireland final, when you happen to be massive underdogs, not speaking about any year in particular. If it happens to be a big World Cup quarter-final where you're underdogs, you just tend to get that bit of belief. Friday afternoon, Saturday morning sort of thing.
Kerry in the draw gave you a belief that Ireland could do something Kerry-esque against the All Blacks.
Completely it did.
It turned out that we were deluded.
Yeah, when you hear the fields of Athenry kind of as the backing noise for the haka.
Look, I said this after the 5-1 Denmark game, but like the 2.5 minutes before the anthem and the Ole Ole the night of the 5-1 Denmark game was absolutely amazing. It was one of the best environments that we've ever had in the Aviva. And I'm looking around at the, I was filming it just in case we ever needed it, and it was like, people were a little bit, ooh, are we supposed to do this?
Yeah.
There was a tension, and then it rose and rose and rose and rose. And the South Africans are happy. The Welsh are happy. All our favourite teams are happy. It's great. It's great to be part of the World Cup where you're going home and all the people that you love so much, the Welsh, the English. I'm kind of like, who's the best winner for us now? It's probably New Zealand.
It was going to be France. All of it, just by default, to be quite honest with you. And so I think most Irish people were probably cheering them on at that moment. People have got on the hating the Welsh bandwagon.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, well, I picked them to win this back in January as part of my predictions, so I'm kind of stuck with that now. And I think they're going to beat South Africa, so they'll be in the final. Look, it's not a tournament that we're going to look back on with anything other than fairly horrific levels of self-reflection, examination, bloodletting, and there's going to be a bunch of retirements from this group. That group will never exist again.
Yeah.
In any way, it's like that Jim Gavin thing when they win in All Ireland, when he closes the door and says this group's never all going to be in the same room ever again. Joe Schmidt, I'm sure did something similar, because that group is never all going to be in the same room again for any reason.
Yeah.
There won't be like a 20-year reunion of the World Cup in 2019. Remember that great trip we went on?
But there'll be a Grand Slam reunion.
I don't think there will. I'm not like.
Has this tainted it to that level?
Well, if there's a Grand Slam reunion, it won't be the same group because some players have come and gone.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know how much this taints the Joe Schmidt era. I think we have to sit with that for a little while. I think that it's definitely a massive cloud over his career in Ireland, because he had 2 World Cups and didn't get past the quarterfinal both times. And for the last 4 years, we've been obsessed with getting past the quarterfinals, and we failed at that. And that was the one thing that we had to do. So you look back at the famous example in rugby where the All Blacks had their massive investigation into what happened when they failed to beat France that time.
Does that have to happen now for Ireland?
Yes, and there can be no mucking about. There has to be like a proper, and if it costs them £1 million and they've got to get Deloitte or any one of the ones that are doing the FAI guys in to sit and interview everybody and say what happened, like.
But would that not be the exact thing that would actually make the Joe Schmidt era something that has a legacy of positivity? So he got us to this point.
No,
that's what I'm trying to say. He got us to this point where an investigation is required. If we allow things to just simmer on through now, perhaps the level will drop back down again, where reaching a World Cup quarterfinal and getting hammered by New Zealand is actually something that we expect, because we did not expect this at the weekend. Because of what Joe Schmidt had achieved previously.
I think we did expect this at the weekend. I think a lot of people did expect that there was a chance that we would get hammered by the New Zealand, because our form for the last year has been really bad and our game plan has not evolved. We have not changed in any way.
True.
We are exactly the same. If you in the ground, it's great where you get to see how hard Ian Henderson gets smashed when he's standing there static, and I'm not sure that you can fully appreciate the TV pictures, and I haven't seen the TV pictures yet, so maybe you can. But smash, and then it's like a pass back from the gain line to somebody who gets smashed. And you're like, how did they know we were going to do that?
Yeah.
They knew we were going to do that because that's what we always do. And so the game plan didn't evolve, and ultimately that comes down to the coach. The players are really good. We know that they're good at doing things, and yet the players also failed. Collectively, they all failed, where they couldn't run lines, they couldn't run support lines, they couldn't pass the ball, there were too many knock-ons. It was all a bit of a disaster.
Let us hear what Joe Schmidt had to say in the aftermath of that devastating defeat to New Zealand on Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't really have an excuse for it or a reason for it. On the night, you can't afford to give the All Blacks access points like we did. They're good enough to win games without us inviting them in, and it was incredibly disappointing. I think we're a little bit flat, on the back of having a few niggles during the week, and we weren't quite sure what the team would be till Thursday, and I felt that we needed to get off to a good start to really build a bit of confidence, and when that didn't happen, I always felt that we'd be a bit vulnerable, but once we were 22-0 down at half time, and again, what was really frustrating about that, the third try, we had a really good space for Keith Earls on the trail line. We had a little bit of space on the overlap for Jacob Stockdale, and we just didn't quite put things together. We spilt that ball, and on the back of it, the All Blacks scored, and they didn't really have to earn that. They finished it off really well, but those are the frustrating things, because you've got to make the All Blacks work for everything if they're going to get it. And I felt that in the past we had forced them to do that, even when we'd lost to them, and certainly, obviously, when we'd beaten them. So that made it very tough. Then we were chasing the game in the second half, and if you're chasing the game against the All Blacks and you're not absolutely nailed on, then you're going to allow them opportunities, and that's exactly what we did. Straight after half time, they took the ball back into their own 22, and we catch it with a foot and touch, where we probably should have let that go, and then we've got a line out inside the 22 to start the second half and to give ourselves a little bit of oxygen, but we sort of invited them straight back in again.
Joe Schmidt there, speaking in the Tokyo Stadium after Ireland got wiped. What was it, 46-14?
46-14.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the score.
Etched to my brain at this point. Would the Springboks have given us an even bigger battering?
No. Look, a lot of things went wrong. There was a collective systems failure, and the players also have to, when they're being honest about what happened, they have to hold themselves accountable, because the knock-ons were uncharacteristic, and so therefore they are responsible for those. But
that's what I'm trying to say. It's like we can't just put this all on the All Blacks. I mean, I think South Africa would have obviously hammered us as well, but even by perhaps an even bigger margin.
No. I think that Springboks team is mediocre, to be honest. We'll see. I think the Welsh are going to beat them, but I think we're getting sidetracked. Everybody, there needs to be a full, one of the old school root and branch, and it can't just sit.
And then what's the end point of that?
Well, so the All Blacks did that. You read the book Legacy, right?
Yeah.
And they actively went and sought out what the problem was. They faced up to it, right? And they came up with, some of it's a bit of BS, some of it's actually very useful, like down to coaching the players to have cool heads instead of, so it's blue instead of red. You have a blue head, or you've got a bit of a red head at the minute. You tap somebody in the shoulder.
Yeah, and I think I'm a red head as well, in the Legacy sense.
Angry.
Yeah,
about everything that's happened. Yeah,
I would definitely be more that than a blue head.
Yeah, but you're not going to be a blue head right now, are you?
No, well, no.
In the immediate aftermath, but in 6 months' time.
Very good point.
Then these are the other thing is, are our kids learning how to offload the ball the way Japan seems to be able to learn how to offload in the space of 18 months?
Yeah.
Argentina seems to be able to learn how to offload and go from deep in the last World Cup in the space of 18 months. So you can evolve.
Yeah, of course.
The lack of evolution is the thing that I think when the players are coming out in the next 5 or 6 weeks, they'll be saying, yeah, look, our game plan was great in 2015, 2016, 2017, but what did we do after that? What was the next step that we took? Well, no next step.
Now's the time to hear what the Irish fans heard.
You don't want to see some of this, but you do want to see it.
Yeah, cover your eyes.
You can't turn away.
Have a look at this. So it's disappointment here in Tokyo as Ireland get hammered by the All Blacks in a World Cup quarter-final. Here is how the Ireland fans reacted.
Look, a lot of optimism going into the match. Pretty disappointed at the end of it. Is Irish rugby a marketing scam?
Sweet Caroline!
We dropped the ball once whenever we had the ball.
All Blacks kind of crucified us from the start. Well done to them, but God, we're struggling.
Can't deny the All Blacks. Absolutely.
Go the All Blacks.
Got to admire them.
And Celtic!
Well done, All Blacks.
Yeah.
And well done to the Irish.
Yeah.
Irish people are very gracious people. I love the Irish people.
We're a good bunch of lads.
It was a disaster. Sweet Caroline, oh, 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 the dance never felt so good. None of the older players stood up.
Yeah. I'm sure they're more disappointed than we are, but the All
No,
Blacks deserve to win.
no, they're not. I'm more disappointed than they are. I'm fucking in Japan. I haven't just arrived at Lansdowne. Mickey D, come over for an interview. The president is here with us here to say a few
El
words.
Presidente! What are you going to say, Mickey D?
Tell us, Mickey.
They were probably better.
He said he's not 5'2", he's 5'6".
I was very disappointed tonight. I just think we're so one-dimensional. And hopefully now with the new regime under Andy Farrell, we'll bring in some of the new blood, give the new guys a bit of a chance. So bring on 2023.
Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly.
Hey baby, watch the free birds fly.
What a wonderful bird, the frog are. And when he jump, he fly almost.
You fucked that one up, didn't you? What a wonderful bird the frog are. And he has no tail, hardly neither. And when he jump, he fly almost.
I fully believe that the Irish team lost because they want to go on the sesh in Japan. And they had enough of non-gargling while the rest of us have been having the crack. So, come on, Rory and the lads. Sesh, all the way.
Nathan Murphy, PTA. Let's go, baby. Listen, we got a meeting next week. You need to fucking be there. Nathan, dude.
They should be with Ireland.
Hey, Owen. You're from Kerry. My boyfriend's he's from Castle Island. Where are you from?
I used to think Off the Ball was a very professional, high quality production, and then I saw the other side of the camera. It's just a phone on a tripod, lads.
Well, I thought Ireland were pure crap tonight. Thank you. And yeah, that's about it. Crap.
Okay, guys, we're gonna come here for an interview.
Not impressive.
Oh, Sheahan, the All Blacks are like the Dubs.
Tonight was great. Country road,
Take me home to the place I belong.
I'm proud to be Irish, and I love the Irish team. Yeah, so am I, but they couldn't score a try of their arse. I still love them. Me too.
How did you get on tonight?
Sorry?
How was your game tonight?
Oh my God, England! Where are you from? From Meath. Where Meath? Oldcastle. Oh, my grandfather's from Oldcastle.
I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm supporting the Irish team. Just my entire hotel is Irish, so I just joined in the hype. Yeah.
Jeez, it was like we never left the dressing room. It was like it was a warm-up match for the lads, and they didn't give a damn about it. Watch the wire, kid.
Peter O'Mahony should retire. Johnny Sexton should retire. It's time for Craig Casey to come through. Oh, Craig's a loser.
It's a great suit.
It is a great suit. Do you like it?
Where do you get the jacket?
Penny's finest, of course. Sure. Look, you'll find everything you want in Penny's.
We've got very good news. Gav is back. How are you, Gav?
I'm back. Do you know what? Look.
Get your cock out. Get it out.
Look, we lost the game, but you know what? We can't sit down with the lads. They put everything into the game. They put everything into the tournament. They're an unbelievable bunch of lads. What they put in, we don't even understand it. We went, like I said, we went through Samoa. We went through Russia.
It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. You're amazing.
You're
Seriously,
very
though, lads.
welcome for that stuff.
We've ruined that microphone.
Adrian, it's back to you. Thanks from all of us here in Tokyo. It's been a pleasure.
See you Wednesday, folks.